When it comes to video games, are you really okay with a hand-me-down female character? I mean, seriously, isn't that kind of insulting that instead of creating a brand new character with their own personality traits and everything like that, isn't it a little insulting that they just decided to switch the gender of an already existing character?
Why are you so obsessed with checking your privilege or demanding that other people check their privilege? Not sure what you thought, but this guilt-ridden virtue signaling does nothing to help me, my life, or my community.
Why do you treat black people like infants, as if we can't debate, as if we can't have a civil discussion? If we break out into violence, then it's because we've been oppressed and we should be allowed to do that.
Why are you always screaming?
If our society hates women so much, why do men try so hard to make women happy?
Why do you call black people white for having a different opinion than you? For being interested in things other than black stereotypes? Aren't you the same people that complain when people make assumptions about you based on your skin color?
Why do you think censorship is the best way to deal with bigotry and racism?
Why do you guys complain about the transatlantic slave trade, yet never talk about Muslim slave trades?
Name me 3. Right now, I want to hear it. 3 rights that men have that women don't.
Why do you guys claim that black on black crime doesn't exist?
Why do you get more upset over the amount of black characters in the TV series than the amount of black homicide victims in Chicago?
If black lives truly matter, why do you guys actually go against police brutality, but not against the brutality on black crime?
Why do you act like we can't defend ourselves?
Why the fuck do you wear mental illness like a badge of honor when 99% of you have nothing wrong with you and you've spent just too much time on Tumblr self-diagnosing?
If it is indeed victim blaming to say that if you drink less alcohol or if you try your best not to put yourself in a dangerous situation by drinking more alcohol than your body can properly metabolize, is it really a bad thing if it reduces the amount of rapes that occur?
You guys talk a big game against white supremacy and Christianity and all that good stuff. But when the evils of Islam are happening not only in the Middle East, but also in Europe, you guys are quieter than a church mouse. Why is that?
When it comes to the mythical pink tax that you ladies love to talk about, if men and women products are so similar, if you believe that they are exactly the same, then why the hell do you keep buying female products? Are you retarded?
You said finally getting a black president would somehow help black people. It didn't. So why should I believe you when you say that finally getting a female president will somehow help women?
Why do white SJWs feel that we need their voice in order to be heard, or that we need them to survive?
Why do you guys claim that all white people are racist?
If you think everything is problematic, isn't it quite possible that everything's fine for the most part and you're the one with the problems?
Why does the concept of colorblindness bother so many of you if it makes less racist people? I mean, isn't it a good thing if these people actually treat other people as people instead of always focusing on their race?
Why do you go out of your way to highlight everybody's differences and make safe, exclusive spaces for them, but you always seem to be the first ones to complain about segregation?
Why people in Black Lives Matter seem to think that rioting in your own community, destroying your own businesses, and doing all these things are going to help bring people into the fold. Spoiler, it's not helping at all.
Let's just be honest here. In your mind, there is never a point in time where men won't have privilege over women. You're gonna be fighting this battle until you die, aren't you?
What gives you the right to tell me that black on black crime is an illegitimate concern when I, as a young black man, have to live with the reality that the demographic most likely to end my life is other young black men?
What is your aversion to black people liking the Constitution? Because my free speech is in there. My right to own a gun is in there, and I kind of like that.
Why do a lot of you say that you're inspired by Martin Luther King Jr., but then get mad when people say all lives matter? Because that is the very basis, that is the very foundation of his dream.
Why does this so-called Eurocentric point of beauty bother you so much if you still get men to date you? I mean, if you're still dating men, would that not mean that you're attractive to someone? So why do advertisements bother you so much when in reality it's a proven fact that you're beautiful to someone?
Why do so many of you have nose rings? Isn't that cultural appropriation?
Why did you make riot shaming a thing? Seriously, it makes no logical sense. When you riot, you should be shamed. The people who do go rioting should be shamed. They should be saying, hey, that's a bad thing. I know you talk about the bigotry of low expectations, but come on now.
Why do you cherry pick the dictionary? I mean, you use the definition of feminism on any given day to try to prove to us what feminism is about. But when I go to the same book and pull out the definition of egalitarianism, then you look at me like I'm stupid and tell me that that's not valid.
When you get rid of Western values, which has treated everyone a lot better than other cultures, what are you going to replace it with?
What exactly is your end game? Like, at what point would you acknowledge that our society is equal, or that there are no systemic oppressions or anything going on? What are your victory conditions, I guess, is a better question to ask.
You guys complain about systemic racism. However, how come you don't consider affirmative action systemic racism?
Why do you call me a coon just for having a different opinion than you? Do you even know what a coon is or what an Uncle Tom is?
Why do you guys call me an Uncle Tom?
If you have such a problem with the fact that there's not a lot of women in STEM, then why is it that you are not in the STEM field right now? Yes, you. I'm talking to you.
If you hate America so bad, why don't you just leave? That boat and plane to Africa is like right there.
When you complain about injustice and then proceed to shut down anyone engaging in discussion about these injustices because they don't conform to your narrative, what do you think is going to be the end result? Emotional tantrums don't lead to reform. They lead to broken windows and tear gas.
Do you honestly think that ethnic minorities can't be racist just because they don't have a lot of societal power? And if that is the caveat to why they can't be racist, then wouldn't that definition by itself really more imply classism than racism?
Why do you guys think that white people owe money for reparations, even though they're not the original slave owners?
If a feminist is bitching about inequalities in a forest and nobody is around to hear her, is she still wrong about everything that she says?
Why do white SJWs pretend like they've owned a slave and they need to apologize for it?
Why do you have to hijack everybody's functions and events and make it about yourself?
How can you be up in arms and mourn the deaths of somebody who died innocently on your side, but when other people are killed, like, say for instance, white people or cops, you celebrate their deaths, despite the fact that those people were innocent also? Is innocent killing bad or not?
Ah, God, stupid. You know, thank goodness I'm going to therapy after this because I need it. Just,